Hey, Paul Campbell here. Just really excited today. I'm so excited that I even shave. I don't even shave when I go on dates with my wife, much to her chagrin. But I shaved for this because my man Diego, who has done amazing things with house hacking and creating wealth with real estate, has agreed to talk with us for just a couple minutes. And for those of you that know me, you know that real estate is what I believe is the tool that families and people can use to bring their lives to that next level, bring their financial position to that next level so that they can truly have amazing lives and even a legacy that they can pass on to their children. So, and one person that I know that has done an amazing job of setting that up for himself is this man right here. So without further ado, would you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, Paul, thank you very much for having me here. Very excited to share. And yeah, I'm 27 years old. I'm going to be turning 28 next month.
Man,
I live in
old.
I live in Austin, Texas, where I am a realtor. And I also, right now, at the age of 27, I own 9 properties, 2 in Austin, 6 in Florida, and I just bought 1 in Tennessee to do Airbnb just a couple of weeks ago. Brand new into that, but yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So I know a little bit about your story. And to be honest, before I met you, I had no idea what this Dreamer program was. I had no idea. And I talked to a lot of people here in my market because our market prices are getting weird. They always say, there's no way I can get started. There's no way I can get started. But you came from basically a similar position. And I was wondering if you would explain, what that program is and how it kind of got you started on this track.
Yeah, so basically, as I start this, I can say, okay, so I am a realtor. I do own my 9 properties, and that passive income that I get from my properties pays for all of my expenses.
That's so great. I love that.
And I started through house hacking, and I'll share that more here in the future. But even though this sounds great, right? I'm financially independent and everything in my 20s. When I came to the United States when I was 9 years old with my family, and now I am what Congress calls a dreamer. So I am part of the DACA program. What that means is that we came here to the United States legally, but my parents decided to overstay their visa. What that meant was that I became an undocumented immigrant. So for me, I would hear those words when I was a kid, but it didn't really hit me until I turned 16 years old and it was my turn to get my driver's license.
Oh, yeah.
That's when all my friends were getting their licenses, and I go to the DMV and they said, Diego, we just need either your document that shows that you're here legally, or your green card, or that you're a citizen. And I didn't have that. And that's when I knew that I was gonna face some obstacles compared to my friends. From there, I graduated I graduated high school 3rd in my class, and it helped me go into college. I won a lot of scholarships, but they were taken back because I didn't have my green card. So academically, it was great, but I couldn't get the money because of that. So they said, Diego, congratulations, you won these $3,000, $5,000, and then I had to give it back in that sense. Yeah, and then I was like, okay, maybe I can qualify for student loans because all my friends were doing that too. So I found out that I couldn't qualify for FAFSA or for student loans either. So then I'm stuck with not only can I drive or get student loans or get my scholarships to pay through college. So then I decided I had enough money and some scholarships to pay my first year in college. So I decided, why not? Let me just do it. While I'm there, I began working at a nonprofit for free to volunteer so that I can get experience. They allowed me to volunteer for 6 months, and then they wanted to hire me. When I submitted my documents, I found out that I also couldn't work because I don't have a work authorization because I'm undocumented, right? So then I'm like, crap, now I can't work, I cannot drive, I cannot do this. But despite all that, I was able to create my own company, create an LLC. I still pay taxes. A lot of people think that dreamers or people undocumented don't pay taxes. We do. And then in 2012, Obama passed the executive order that will allow the dreamers, the kids that have gone to college, gone to school, to finally be able to work and drive. Because we've gone through the system, we might as well contribute back to the country.
That seems
so right. So that's what I did, and I got a job to be a software developer here in Austin, and so I moved from Florida to Austin. And in that time, I began reading books for personal development and that's when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. And in reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, I learned that there's two ways that people make money. You can either trade your time for money, like 95% of the population does, or you can make your money work for you. And that got me excited, right? So then I was working as a software developer with my salary job, but I decided to live below my means so that I can invest for passive income and make my money work for me. So fortunately, I had that strategy, or I learned about that early on, and then I took action.
You said something really important there. You said live below your means, meaning you didn't just go spend all your money on, dating girls and drinking beer. You actually had a plan. You put aside your money. That's really smart, man. A lot of people, especially young people, don't see the future on that level. And I didn't mean to interrupt, but that's really important that you said that. So
yeah, and especially and I got a job as a software developer with GM, right? So the car company. So a lot of my friends were getting the Corvettes, the Camaros, the Cadillacs, and I'm like, dude, you're 23 years old. What are you doing? Buying a car that's like close to your salary, to 1 year's salary. But because they thought that they could afford it, they did it. I went the opposite, and I bought a used Honda Civic, and it got me the opportunity to save a lot of money. And in that time, I was able to buy my first property, despite a lot more obstacles. In the beginning, I couldn't qualify for loans, but I was able to finally do it. And I bought one property in Austin that basically helped me get started through house hacking, which is when you buy a single family home and you live with roommates while you live in the master, or you can buy a duplex, triplex, or quadplex and live in one unit while you rent out the other ones. The idea...
Important definition right there. So basically what you're doing is you're using real estate to, you're using rental income, to subsidize your cost for buying that house, subsidize, or in some cases even replace it, right?
Exactly. Okay. So you use the income that you're getting from your roommates or your tenants to basically live for free. So since I've been 24 years old, I haven't had a mortgage payment from my pocket. And for my first house, the rent payment also covered my car payment. So because I didn't have student loans, it was a blessing in disguise, right? But my only debt was my mortgage and my car payment. But my mortgage became good debt in that sense because it was getting paid by other people. Mm-hmm. And I was living for free. And that allowed me to continue building my portfolio because I was saving all the income that I was doing as a software developer. Now, the best part about house hacking is that because you're going to live in the property, you can qualify for an owner-occupant loan. So you're looking at buying a home with an FHA loan, like 3.5% down or 5% down.
That's a big one.
Yeah, or even 0% down. And like if you can get a VA loan and live with roommates, man, like that is great because not only can you qualify, like go buy a home with zero money down, because a lot of people think that you still need 20% down to put down on a house. So for people to think, oh, I need 40,000, 60,000, where I bought my first property with literally $7,000, it makes it a lot more achievable. And that's why I like teaching and talking about house hacking, is because it's a great opportunity to get started no matter how old you are, no matter what age, because you do not need that much money.
Yeah, and another thing about that FHA loan that you were talking about too is if you're trying to get started, and sometimes getting started is the hardest part, you don't. Sometimes when you're new in the game or you're in your early 20s, you don't have a credit score. FHA actually allows you to have uh, alternative credit, meaning if you've paid a cell phone bill or something like that that doesn't show on a credit report, you can use that. So I digress. You definitely want to talk to a lender about that. We've got a great preferred lender. But hey, um, so got to sneak in the plug there. Sorry, sneak in the plug for the course. So how did you turn your first house into the portfolio that you have now? Was it basically just what you were talking about, where you were smart about your money, or how did you take this to the next level that you are at now?
Yeah, so here's the best part about house hacking is that you can buy a home using owner occupant loans once a year or twice a year, depending on how it works with your lender. So you can literally use low money down opportunities to buy 4 homes in the next 6 years. And you just have to move to the next one, and it has to work with your debt to income ratio, right? But it is totally possible. So what happens is I was living in one home, renting it out to roommates. It cash flowed $300. But by the time that I moved out and moved to another house to live in another bedroom, right, I rented out my master to another person, and that made me $1,000 for that house a month.
Wow.
So, and then I was living for free in the other house, right? So now I'm living for free still, and I have $1,000 coming in passively.
That's beautiful.
While that was going on, I had a few other friends that wanted to invest with me, and then my dad also wanted to buy a property, so I went 50-50 with him. So because I had the cash of living below my means, right? Because I had cash available, different opportunities began to pop up, and I continued to house hack. So my expenses were very low, but in between that time, I also became a realtor. So then now I'm not only just making money from software, but I'm also doing it part-time and making extra money. So I was able to save all of that and continue buying properties.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. That's great. So what would the one piece of advice be that you would give to somebody that's just trying to get started? They just want to own some property, build some wealth for their family. How would you advise them to get started? They're looking at all these prices and they're like, I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, so I would say if they're a millennial, or if it's like a young family that can buy a duplex or a triplex or quadplex, I would start with house hacking. Definitely work first in building your real estate team. That is key, because you want to make sure that you're working with the right realtor that's hopefully an investor-friendly realtor. Then team up with a good lender. There you go. You talk to Paul. You talk to Paul's preferred lender. And here's the thing, right? When you work with an investor-friendly realtor, they already have the resources for you because they probably already invest. So you want to make sure, the reason why I always recommend that is because you want to make sure that that realtor probably already has a list of handyman, list of cleaners, of lawn people, of inspectors, of lenders, right? So it's like when you have a good connection, you're buying into the whole, all of his resources. And because they've used them already, you can already trust that they're going to do a good job.
Oh, so, yeah, right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's why building your real estate team is one of the best things. And then number 2, I would say focus first on when you're house hacking, you want to make sure that you can either live for free or at least reduce your like the amount of money that you pay that's coming out of your pocket. Because once you do that, you can multiply that in the future. Beautiful. And once you have that cash flow, it's up to you, right? You can go on that trip or you can do whatever. But what I recommend is sacrifice for like 2 years, save as much money as possible so that you can reap the benefits in the future later.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So I can already hear people now. That sounds like a lot of work. That sounds like a pain in the ass, blah, 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 blah. Now, so why would you spend 2-3 years just saving money and sacrificing besides the living for free, which is an amazing benefit? the reason, and I'm kind of leading this question because obviously you probably built a lot of equity over the last few years. So not only are you living for free, but can you share like how much wealth you built by owning these properties the way that you have?
Yeah.
So not only do you have wealth being built, you have equity being built, but it's being paid down by other people. So tell me what that picture is for you right now.
Yeah, so basically I started when I first bought my properties, I had a net worth of 25 grand in that sense. I was 23 years old, and that's all the money I was able to save and like get right from
either. Not bad.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I worked my butt off to be able to get that and save that. And then now my net worth is around 450. Despite the obstacles of being a dreamer and having DACA and having to renew my papers every 2 years. Like I tell the government everything. Every 2 years I go through a biometric exam and I tell them where I live and all of that stuff. So no matter like what happens, I'm still paying my taxes and everything, right? Yeah. But I would say, your question is like, why would people sacrifice for 2 years?
Yeah,
or how?
You know, I was just thinking because, you know, the difference between your net worth is what I was getting at. You know, your average renter net worth is, you know, $5,000 to $10,000. Your average homeowner is, you know, 44 times and whatnot.
For sure.
So basically, people are paying into an asset that you still own the asset, right? So you
still own the asset, and I've been able to go from 25,000 to 450. So let's say that's like it's more than 10 times, right? In just a matter of 4 years.
That's incredible.
It's like it's an incredible opportunity. That's
why you sacrifice.
Yeah, that's why you sacrifice, right? Yeah, and because now, I mean, so now this is something that's really cool. Now I live downtown. Now I just moved into a skyrise for 6 months because I wanted to give it a try. Nice. But the best part is that none of my rent payment is coming from my pocket. My 2 homes in Austin are paying for it. Right?
I love it.
So it gives me the opportunity to not worry about money in the months to come or in the years to come because I have passive income coming in. That's and awesome. One of the things that I like to say is like, you have to, like, people are either collecting bills or collecting income streams. You want to make sure that you're collecting income streams. That is the best part. And investing your money to make more money in the future, because if not, you're going to be trading your time for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's beautiful advice. So, hey, you got so good at this, you decided to teach other people. So you have a course out, right? A house hacking course. Can you just throw a couple details about that? And we're going to put the link to that and some information about you down here in this blog too. So you can see it down there below. But yeah, give us a quick little rundown.
Yeah, so if they want to learn more about house hacking, definitely check out househackingclub.com. That's where I have a free ebook, a video tutorial on how to do this and scale it. And I also created a course because I had a lot of people asking me about it. He's like, hey, Diego, I want to get started. How did you do it at a young age? So I've put together the 5 modules that will explain everything from how to find your real estate team, to the home buying process, to running the numbers and the spreadsheet, and then how to create, how to do it in a way that you can find the right roommates, the right tenants, and streamline the process so that in the next 6 years or 10 years, you can build a portfolio and become financially free. Because if I can do it as a dreamer, as an undocumented immigrant, anybody can do it.
Man, thank you for saying that. That's all I got for you, man. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to do this and spreading this wisdom with us up here in Portland. You know, if we can just help 1 or 2 people like change their families' lives, change their financial picture and live a better life, man, then that's enough for me. So I really want to thank you for doing that.
For sure.
Everyone that's watching this, check out this dude's site. Like, I don't remember what the cost is on that house hacker class, but he's not gouging people for this. This is really reasonable. What was it?
So it's just $150
Oh, yeah.
for the course.
Great.
It's hours of a course. And then it also includes a call with me one-on-one so that I can hear what your situation is and how I can help you plan for the future, whether it is just by starting saving your down payment or how to buy your first house hack in a sense, even if you already have other properties.
Dude, that's incredible. $150. And I don't mean to sound cheesy, but I mean, we're in real estate where we go to conferences where people are trying to sell us, coaching and books to make $1 million in real estate. And they're charging thousands and thousands of dollars for this stuff. So you're $150, man. That's almost a gift. So
yeah, that's until September. After September, it's going to go to 300.
Gotcha. All right. Well, get in on that. Get in on that now. All right. Well, thanks again, man. That was actually a lot of fun for me. It's been my pleasure to get to know you, and your story is definitely an inspiration to me. Man, I wish I was just this much closer to being as smart as you were in your 20s. My wife would probably like me a whole lot more.
That's funny.
Joking. Don't get mad at me, woman. Anyway, thank you again. I really appreciate you. And, looking forward to next time.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you very much, Paul.
All right, man. We'll talk soon.